Hey guys, how's it going? Morning. Let me set up this room real quick and then we can get started. So let's see, today is February 19th. This, it's a month almost over. Let me just get this set up real quick. 19th. All right, I think we should be good. Let me just set up this link real quick and then send it out. We should be good to go. So our US 30 at full TP. Also our GU hit TP as well. So it's been a pretty good day so far. I don't think I'm going to trade myself, but I will answer questions and see if there's any scalps that could, possibly appear here. Although the market is kind of messy right now. Let me just send this link out real quick, guys, and we should be good to go. So if you guys send me an email or message me on Telegram, I haven't gotten to you guys yet. I haven't looked at any of those, so I will get to those shortly. But let me just get this sent out real quick. All right, that should be good. Let me send it to our social media real quick. That should be cool. All right, log into my MT4. That should be good. Yeah, so guys, if you guys are looking to trade US 30, I'd hold off for a bit because obviously you see this crazy market movement right here because of the market open manipulation. So this is normal. If you guys are wondering why the price is moving like that, like kind of crazy, it's usually like that on market open. Let me check if there's news today too. There might be. Today's Friday, so it's end of week. Usually they have the end of week statement. So let's see. Yeah, so all the news already passed actually, aside from the US PMI, which is going to come up in about 10 minutes. So I'd hold off for this as well. Let's wait for that to pass before you guys actually take any trades. And I think there was some news about Yellen. So like, yeah, Yellen, because she pushed for more stimulus and then stocks like shot up like right here. So obviously, I mean, there's going to be some manipulation here. I think overall it's probably going to bounce back, but we'll see what happens from this point. We just got to be patient with it. So let me just finish sending out this link real quick, and I think we should be good. But I'd be very careful if you guys are trading today. I'm not going to trade, so we'll see. Let me just send this link out to the Instagram real quick, and we should be good to go. All right. All right, so I got this posted on the IG. We should be good to go. I'm probably not going to live stream this on the IG today. I'm going to see if people are even watching it. Let's see. I mean, there's a decent amount of people watching it. It's just a lot of work to have me go and put this on the thing. So I'm not going to put it on the IG live today. But other than that, let me see. Yeah, everything should be good. All right, cool. Everything looks pretty solid, guys, for the most part. So let me go check out the chat real quick. I think I've sent it everywhere. All right. right, let's see. Hey, morning, John. Morning, Raymar. Hey, Thomas. Thomas said hi there. What's your Telegram address? It's just at K² Trades. And morning, Dilraj. Morning, Patricia. Yeah, let me send out the Zoom link for you guys in the premium. But yeah, my Telegram name is just at K² Trades. Let me, or at _ K² Trades if you're looking for like my specific DM. But if you're just going to the Telegram link, it's just K² Trade, t.me/K² Trades. So let me just send out this Zoom link for the premium members. All right, should be good. Let me see if there's anything else here. Morning, David. Morning, Saquon. Morning, Peter. Kel's asking 70% are short. I already have a buy bias based off of certain requirements. I think they're looking to lure in sellers currently. I think so too, Kel. So you can see these rejections right here. This candle right here might reject off it and shoot right back up, right? So I'll look at it for you guys, but I'm probably not going to trade it myself because you guys know what happened last week. You know, I usually don't trade on Fridays, and last Friday we took a couple trades. I mean, I did close out with some profit, but it was you know, it was riskier than I would have wanted it to be, because we did have one loss and then we had like 2 wins, so I ended up in profit. But you know, I would have been more satisfied if I just would have just chilled off that. I'll just mute everybody real quick. There we go. All right, so I'm just drawing these zones here, but you know, obviously you can see right here that there's probably going to be an entry right here. So if you guys want to take this closes in about 6 minutes or 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes and 58 seconds. Once this closes, if you guys want to take the scalp right here, this would qualify for an entry. But I'm probably not going to take it myself. Hey, what's up? Morning, Neil. Thomas said, hi, bud. Can you stick in the chat, please? Yeah, I'm going to be here, Thomas. I'm not going anywhere. This is where the questions are going to be placed here in this chat. Morning, Saquon. Morning, Biko. Morning, Matt. Morning, Kirsten. Morning, Belly. Morning, everybody. So let's see. Our first question is here. Let's just analyze US 30 real quick. So I think this is going to be bullish as well. It's just you know, it's just a matter of time for it to actually move. So let me just let me see if there was anything else that we could have taken here. So it looks like there was an entry right here as well off this green one, but this was off open, so I wouldn't have taken this one. But if you did take it, it's like it would have gone close to full TP right there. So let me see. I'm gonna try to analyze this. Let me just take this off right here. We already hit full TP for our US 30. So if you guys took the US 30 trade yesterday, this hit full TP this morning, right here at 1 o'clock. So it was a long hold, but you know, obviously hit full TP, which was all that really mattered. I got out kind of close to the top over here. You know, as soon as it pushed up here and I saw this red candle, I closed out, and you guys saw my profits for that over here as well. I think I posted in the group. So yeah, my profits were right here. So yesterday I closed the day out with, well, actually I had another trade after this. So I closed the day out with a little more than this, like about 2,000 for one account, and then another nearly 2,000 on this account as well. And then my personal account over here, which closed out at about 300 yesterday. So that was a pretty good trade. I mean, if I held on to it a little longer, this would have been the full, you know, 2,500, but it's all good. I mean, I can't complain with, you know, a 2,138 after closing around this area right here. So whoever held on, you know, congrats for catching that full TP. But I just didn't have the patience, honestly. I wanted to close it out already. So that was a good trade. Also, our GU trade hit full TP as well overnight right here at 2 a.m. And that's done as well. So other than that, we have no active trades right now. I'm basically done for the week, guys. I don't think I'm going to trade today unless I really see something that's really good. But yeah, this would probably be the first entry that's available right now after this candle close. But like I mentioned, guys, I usually don't take trades until an hour after market open. So probably not until like 7:30. But then today is Friday, so you don't really have much time to trade today. So I mean, we'll see how this plays out. If you guys want to take it, it closes in about 3 minutes. I'll mark it up for you guys. But I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to count it as any of my trades because I had to give you guys fair warning that if this is it's going to be a risky trade for you guys to take. Let me see if there's anything else here. Actually, I wouldn't take this trade here at all because if you guys remember my requirements, I generally require that the previous trade over here would have to win. It looks like this one over here would have been a loss. So after this loss right here, I'd only be looking for some sells instead of buys. So I mean, we'll see how this plays out. If you guys want to take this trade, it is closing in about 2 minutes. I'll mark it up for you, but it's not something that I'm going to take. And it's not something that I recommend taking either. But if you're feeling risky and you want to just, test it out, you can take it. And I'll just mark it up for you, but I'm not going to take it on my own account. So let's see if there's anything else here. Here, Thomas, if you want the Telegram groups, just go on the website. Go on the website at k2trades.com, click unlock your free access and get all the links there. Because I'm not going to post all the links here. I mean, it's in the description. It's posted in a lot of places here. So if you don't see them there, you can just click here and you'll get access to all the links because you only get a few links in the description anyways. But everything's in the description, Thomas. I don't know if you just missed that, but everything is down there for the normal public groups. If you want the more specific groups like the stocks group, the options group, the indices group, then it's going to be, you can click on this right here to get it. All right, let me see. Quant good calling that GU trade. Yeah, definitely, bro. That was a good call. I was actually going to cancel that. So good thing I didn't cancel it because it did take a long time to fill until like 10 p.m. last night right here. So we called it here like in the middle of the day. It didn't fill until like way later. And then when it finally did fill, it went straight to TP. So yeah, it was a good, that was pretty good that we held on to that. Sorry for Saquon. Yeah, it was good that we held on to that because that thing shot up like right away. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else for us to really look at here. All right, so this US 30 scalp is about to close in about 30 seconds. If you guys want to take it, you can take it. But, like I mentioned, I'm not going to take it, and it's a risky trade. So only take it at your own risk. This is, I mean, it could hit it. It could possibly hit, but I think it's too risky of a trade, so I'm not going to take it. It doesn't fit my requirements for the follow-up move. So let me see this real quick. Yeah, definitely. No problem, Thomas. Yeah, because you have there's like the basic groups right there in the description. There's like just the public, trade and chat. But if you want the more specific ones like the indices, options, and stuff like that, just you can just sign up on the website and they'll give you all the links here because there's way more links than what's in the description. What's posted there is just it's just what can fit. But we do have a stocks group, an options group, an indices group, and our London group as well. So if you want to do that, you can check it on the website. It's completely free. You just sign up to that and then you get the links to everything. So guys, here's the entry for that scalp right there. I'm not going to take it, but like I mentioned, if you guys want to take it, you guys can. This fits all the requirements here. Rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure, and now it's currently in profit. So let me just mute everybody here. All right, so that looks good for the most part right here. Let me see if there's anything else for us to let me turn off the annotations too, because yesterday we had, I forgot who it was. I think it was one of the other people in the group that was drawing on the, can't we disable it? Someone was drawing on the chart yesterday and someone else thought it was a pivot, but it was just someone drawing a yellow line. Anyways, morning, Indra. Let's see if there's anything else here. Underground said you're 30 in the cell. Roscoe said hit that like button. Yeah, definitely. Morning, Karen. Morning, everybody. All right, so I'm going to go to the first pair that was asked for. The first one was Billy. So Billy wants me to take a look at gold. I'll set an alert here for, oh shit, my bad, guys. I clicked the drawing tool here, so everything is Let's keep drawing on this chart. Let me just take this off. This is what I was trying to avoid. Let me clear that, clear all drawings. All right, we should be good. All right, so I'm just gonna set an alert here for the TP so we can follow it if it does hit TP, which it might, you know, who knows, we'll see. Scalp number 1, full TP. So I'll leave that marked up there. If it's TP, I'll come back and check on it. You know, otherwise, I'm gonna go take a look at gold real quick. But I did take this trade, guys. This is just me calling it for you guys. If you guys want to go back and rewind the replay to see, you know, what we were looking at there, you guys can find it. So other than that, let me pull up gold real quick for Billy. So we got gold over here on the 4-hour. Let me go down to this over here. All right, so I mean, this played out like, you know, like we mentioned, right? I mentioned that we were waiting for this to break below here, Billy. If you remember this from yesterday, I was confirming that when price is coming down, it either needed to break and close past here. If not, it would reject up. And that's exactly what happened, right? Price came up, came down, it rejected off this structure. It failed to break and close below it, and then it shot all the way up. So I'll just reanalyze it from scratch, and I'll just see if there's you know, any new zones that we might have missed along the way. So I'll zoom out from this point. Here's a naked chart. First thing I'm gonna do is turn on the K²SR indicator. And then I'm going to draw this right there. Draw this right here. And guys, if you guys sat in on my live session yesterday with Andrea, I actually went over a lot of little secrets, you know, regarding how I identify chopping markets and how to draw these zones perfectly like this. So if you guys haven't seen that, if you guys want to go back and take a look, it was a live session last night with Andrea. So there we go with these zones right here. I'm gonna go back to the 4-hour, hide that. And here we go. We have some nicely drawn zones for gold. So like I was mentioning yesterday, you know, we had the sell signal here. So what we were looking for is we were waiting for price to break and close past, you know, the structure down here, which it failed to do. But we did have a rejection at this point. So we had a rejection. We had a buy signal right here. So next thing that we'd be looking for is for this candle right here to break and close past the structure, right? Once it breaks and closes past the structure, then we could anticipate it to shoot up from this point. And if you were to take a long position from here, that would be a nice little scalp for about 126 pips right there, right? So that would be the move right there. And then, you know, obviously if it breaks and closes above here, then, you know, another bullish move from this point, even higher. So that's basically what I see happening here for gold. And just looking at gold from a bigger perspective, this is just, it's currently in a range now. So if you take everything off the chart, it's now stuck within this range, and you know, who knows how long this range will last for. If I take these zones off in the middle, you can see here that price is now stuck within this range, right? So in order for it to break out, it would need to close above here. So in order for us to take like the big buys, like over here, it would need to close above this area right here. And then same situation over here, if it ends up coming back down, you know, below this area right here. But currently we have a bullish bias because we have that buy signal, plus we have the whole setup right here where it's completed. So, you know, a couple scenarios here. If price fails to break this structure right here, then it can easily drop from this point as well. So, I mean, these are the key places, right? These are the key structures right here. If price breaks above the structure, it'll probably continue to push up. If it rejects down this way, it can attempt to break this structure again, and then possibly even break it at this point, you know, for a second attempt. But, you know, like I mentioned, it's just really going to depend on how the market reacts to this structure here. So, I mean, basically for gold, we're just waiting for it to break and close past here. If it doesn't break and close past here, then it can easily just reject off this structure and then come back down. And, you know, it's the same pattern that just keeps repeating itself. It's, let me just admit that. All right, so I'm gonna turn this back on right here. So we have an example here for this buy, right? I'll show you an example for the sell. So for example, rejection from this point, sell signal, break and close past structure right here. And then it continues down further, right? breaking close past structure right here, continues down to test this structure. So you can see that it's pretty simple. That price just bounces from structure to structure. You know, it's very simple. It's not that difficult. You know, but a lot of people want to overcomplicate trading, especially for gold. If you're trading something that's very volatile, it's actually even easier to identify. Like for example, here we have the rejection off this point. We have the buy signal right here. We have price break structure, and then what happens from this point? It just pushes up higher. So it's the same thing. It's the same pattern, just keeps repeating itself. Rejection, buy signal, breaking close past structure, push to the next structure. Rejection off here, you know, and it goes back the opposite way. There's really no difference here. That's pretty much it. So that's my analysis for gold right now. I just don't see anything really coming until, you know, we figure out what happens after the structure right here. We need that confirmation that it's going to, you know, break and close past it before we actually determine, you know, which direction it'll be moving. So that's pretty much it for this right here on the 4 hour. I'll also look on the scalp because I know some of you guys like to scalp gold here. So let's put this over here, gold. So pretty much the same thing here. We have, I'm gonna turn on the momentum indicator. I mean the zone, so we can identify where the zones are. So we have a zone up here. I mean, these zones up here are irrelevant, so I'm not going to draw those zones, but we'll draw these lower zones right here. They're actually, you know, somewhat relevant here. So we got that. That. And this is just one big zone right here. So I probably wouldn't even scalp gold right now. It looks like gold is it's moving pretty crazy due to the market open and the news with stimulus this morning, right? So I showed you guys the news this morning from Yellen over here, where she pushed for more stimulus. It caused stocks to rise. Obviously that affected gold as well because we're all somewhat connected. But if you did take this trade right here, so if I rewind it to this point, I think this was the most recent trade. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken, actually I wouldn't have taken either of these. So obviously you can see that there's a lot of manipulation right here. I mean, it's like not manipulation, but it's choppy markets. I'll show you what I mean by, so there's a scalp. If you guys took the scalp for that US 30 I called about 5 minutes ago, it just hit full TP right there. So where's David at? Got these horns for you. So that hit full TP right there for US 30 guys. If you guys took it, probably could have taken it on my own account, like a smaller lot size, but it's all right. There's more profit to come. So for whoever took that trade, congrats. You guys saw me call it on the live. So you guys had all the opportunity to take that trade. So that's about it for that one right there. Going back to gold over here, there's really no entry right now available for gold. I was thinking this one would have been, but it was actually an entry from both directions. So I wouldn't have taken that trade, you know, to begin with. Other than that, there isn't really much to look at here for gold on the 30-minute. Let's go on the 10-minute. Maybe there's better luck on the 10-minute. So we'll pull up gold over here. Let me delete everything off this chart, turn this off, or we just leave it on. Let's see if there was any entries here. So we'll draw our zone right there. I'm just trying to see if there was any entries that we could have, you know, possibly taken off this point. All right. So that looks pretty solid. 1, 2, and that one. All right, cool. So just looking at this here, let me see if there was any entries that were possibly available. So it looks like actually this green candle right here was available. So if you guys caught this scalp, I don't know if anyone was trading it, but this green candle right here, if I rewind to this, you can see right here, obviously we have the rejection off the pivot. Right here, it rejected off the orange pivot, and it also rejected off the structure. So nice rejection off the pivot and the structure. If you were to take this trade, I think the sweet spot for gold is about, I can't remember if it was like 300 or 250. It was somewhere between there, 300 and 250. If you took this trade, looks like it went straight to TP right after open on the falling candle. So that's the most recent entry for gold. If you scalped it, there's obviously no entries here because there's no rejection off the structure. There's rejection off pivots, but no rejection off structure. So you would have just taken this one right here if you were to take, the most recent valid scalp entry for gold there. So that would have hit TP. The US 30 just hit TP as well. I mean, we keep following it to see if there's any other entries. So there's one full TP right there. And then there's another entry that's coming up right now off this 7-minute candle. If you guys want, or actually we'll see if this ends up closing with it touching the pivot, then yeah, it would be an entry. If not, then it's not going to be a valid entry yet. So that's pretty much it for that right there. Let me check the chat to see if there's any other questions, and then we can continue off that. Let's see. Let's see. Karen said last night's live session is definitely worth the watch. Yeah, definitely. We covered a lot of stuff in last night's session with me and Andrea, because she had a lot of questions where she wasn't applying the strategy properly, or the analysis. But after we had that one session, Andrea, she figured everything out, and she's pretty much good to go from now. So I'm excited to see our profits next week. You'll probably see our profits in the chat as everyone else. Let's see. Karen said, what's the best time frame to scalp on the Forex pairs? 30 minutes. So Karen, it depends on your spread, but yeah, the 30-minute would probably be the most solid, because the 10 minutes kind of too tight. So depending on what you're scalping, if you're scalping a slow moving pair like odd CAD, you're not going to catch any good scalps on the 10-minute. If you're scalping something like GA, GN, EA, EN, then those would be fine on the 10-minute because they move pretty quick, similar to US 30. So just depending on what you want to trade, there's no right or wrong time frame. The strategy works on every time frame. It just depends on what you plan on trading. Because obviously, if you're trading odd CAD and your spread is like 3 pips, and you can only go for 3 pips scalp, it's just not going to make sense for you to scalp this, right? Yes. So spread is like 2.6. It just makes no sense for you to scalp anything. Like for example, here, if you were to scalp this green candle, because there was a rejection off that point structure and pivot, see, you would only go for like 10 pips, which I mean, it's doable. Like you can make profit. Obviously, look, if you have 10 pips right here, you trade like a standard lot, it's $100 right here off this trade. But like I was mentioning, this is a scalp, it's supposed to move pretty quickly, and you'll be holding this for like 2 hours. So just keep that in mind, depending on what you're trading. If you trade this is like a 10 pip move. If you're trading something like GA, it's a whole different story right here. You can probably catch a lot more trades a lot easier if you were to, obviously, let me just draw a zone here so we can see what I mean by that. So like, for example, here, if you were to take this trade right here, we have the rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure right here. If you were to take that, take a short position right here, you can go for like 30 pips, right? It's a huge difference, Karen, regarding the pairs. If you're trading something that actually moves fast versus something that moves slow, we went from 10 pips to 30 pips off GA right here in probably a shorter time as well. And yeah, in just 1 hour. So odd CAD for 10 pips, it was like over 2 hours. For GA, it was just like 1 hour right here. So yeah, that's pretty much how I see this right here. Other than that, I don't really see anything too different. It just really depends on what you want to trade on. So that's pretty much it for that right there. Yeah, Mark said, bro, that's straight manipulation. They know they won't be getting extra stimulus. Yeah, I agree with that too, bro. But it just depends on how people react to the news, right? It could be like they can easily push price one way or the other. And that's why I really don't want to mess with it, because we just don't know at this point. Nice. Yeah, Billionaire said, thanks, Shawn. So I'm assuming you took that trade, right? Billionaire Mindset for this US 30. So if you did take that trade, congrats. You hit full TP within like 5 minutes or so for like a nice 500 pips. So it's not bad. There's another entry right here setting up. I'm not going to take it, but if you guys want to take it, you guys are more than welcome. I'll let you guys know when it does close. It closes in about 3 minutes. Or maybe I will take it. Who knows? We'll see. Let's see over here. Just going to add this to my MT4. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll take it, but maybe not. Let me see how far that move up is. Yeah, because if that's the case, it would have moved up about, geez, like 1,500 pips. That's a pretty big move from market open right here. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to measure this to see how big of a move it would be from market open. So market open right here. And if I was to take that, you know, I probably could have caught like 1,400 pips if I took the full move here. But you guys already locked in 500 pips off this entry over here. And then obviously this would be another 500 pips for like 1,000 pip total if you guys hit TP on both of them. But yeah, this would be the entry right here. If you guys have any other questions, you know, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm not really going to be looking at anything specific today because I'm not going to be trading. But if you guys do have questions, I can answer them for you. So go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I will. Let me check this real quick. I will be looking for, you know, a different pair to look at today. I mean, obviously, I'm only going to trade US 30. That's what I trade. But if you guys want me to look at something else, I'll look at all the indices because I'm not really going to be trading. So I have enough time for me to actually take a look at stuff today. Billionaire Mindset said, is this the entry for US 30? I mean, it would be an entry if it closes. There's still a minute 25 left on this candle. So that's why I'm just sitting around waiting for this to actually close out before, you know, we take this trade here. But yeah, technically this would have been the entry. You know, I already have it set up 50-50 for 500 pips both ways. But we're just waiting for this to actually, this thing over here. Sorry guys, I'm getting a bunch of text messages right now. Sorry guys, I'm getting a text message from some people in the group asking about what the entry point is for this. So I will, all right, we got about 30 seconds left on this. I'm just watching this right now. I'm following it to see, you know, what's going on here. But about 20 seconds left if you guys want to take this trade. But like a reminder, guys, this is a risky trade. Today is Friday, so it is a risky trade for us to take. And then we can figure this out from here. So let's see, we got about 7 seconds left on here. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. There you go. So that'd be the entry right there. If you guys wanted to take that trade, it's currently active. I'm just set an alert for here, a US 30 signal as well. All right, scalp 1. What was it? Scalp 1, full TP. But like I mentioned, guys, this is a risky trade. So if you guys want to take it, go ahead. If not, I mean, I'm just going to watch with you guys because I'm not going to take any more of my account. You know, I already learned my lesson last week when we traded the other ones here. So let me see. All right, we're waiting for this right here. Thomas is asking, is this a sell on the US 30 looking at not to buy? Holden. It's when the green's above it, that means it's a buy. If it's a red below, it's a sell. I mean, if the green's above, it's a buy. If the green's below, it's a sell. So this would be a buy here for a scalp. You know, we just took this scalp over here that hit full TP, and then this is the second one right here. Other than that, let's see what else we've got to figure out from this point. But yeah, anyways, we're just waiting for this to play out. Like I mentioned, this, see how it's coming back down, guys. This is why I wouldn't take this trade, or why I wouldn't even take this other one over here, because the market's just going to bounce back and forth. Today is Friday, so we do see you're going to see a lot of unusual market movements. Like this might hit CP, it might not, but it's not a risk that I want to take because price can easily bounce like back and forth. If you guys followed me last Friday during our live session, it was bouncing back and forth. Like we thought it was good trades, but then it bounced back and forth. So it's not something that I necessarily would want to take. Anyways, let's see. The next question here is from Kirsten. Kirsten's asking, hey, can you go over a 1 hour time frame on S&P for entry? So we'll go check out the 1 hour time frame right now. And I'm just answering questions today, guys. I'm not trading on my own. So none of these trades are going to be recorded or documented. It's just, you know, me answering questions for you guys here. So let's go to testing over here. I'll go to the 1 hour chart for the S&P. Sorry, guys, I'm just really lazy today. I wasn't going to go live today, but since I was going to trade, but here I am. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and then I can take a look at everything else over here, you know, as we continue on with this. All right. All right, so we got the zones drawn up there on 1 hour. I'll turn this off, turn on the pivots. Here, let's see. So it looks like there was an entry. Here, let me check this real quick. So the reason I do this right here is I should try to determine whether the market's choppy or not. So I probably, so if you guys looked at my other mentoring sessions, I explain how I identify when the market's choppy. Like for example, here, when, let me just fix this right here. When we see this right here, this is going to indicate that the market's choppy. Whenever the pivots start to, let me just change the color for it. Whenever the pivots start to cross over like this, you know, this would indicate that the market is choppy. This would be, you know, a bullish move, choppiness around this area. And then also, I wouldn't even take any down here because it still has it smoothing out. And then again, right here, some choppiness right here as well. So I wouldn't have taken any of these trades over here. If I turn this back on, you can see the choppiness, right? It's bullish, choppy, bullish, choppy. And then this right here, I mean, you could take this trade if you wanted to. It's not as choppy as the others because obviously it starts to smoothen out. But right here, I probably wouldn't have taken these trades just yet because this is still some choppiness until it starts to move out a little further, like this right here. Then it would be moving in that direction. And then again, same right here, moving that direction as well. So these and these right here, pretty much all of these over here, that's how they would, that's how they move. And that's how I would determine this. So Kirsten, just looking at this right here, I mean, there's an entry that was technically available right here, but I probably wouldn't have taken it because of this choppiness. Usually when the market's choppy like this, I just ignore the market, or I ignore that entry, but there is technically an entry right here. So if you guys missed the last mentoring session, you should probably see it because I covered this in there, explaining, you know, why I don't take these trades when it's too choppy, because obviously this will happen where it does the complete opposite and bounces down. Also using this on the 1 hour, you know, obviously the moves are going to be a lot bigger. So I'm not sure what your sweet spot would be or what your range would be for something like this, but I personally wouldn't know because I don't trade it. I guess it'd be around maybe 150. So 1 would be around here, 150 would be a little lower down here. That might be the sweet spot. That's why I wouldn't take this, you know, this specific trade right here. Like for example, if you want to take one down here in the middle, this is fine because it's not as choppy. So if you were to take this short right here off this red candle, this would be decently fine for a short position right here. Right there for about 150 pips, right? So that's basically what we, like what I saw this right here, like what I saw over here, and then this would be the entry here as well. So I don't know if this is what you took, Kirsten, because you mentioned it, if I can go over the 1 hour time frame for S&P for entry, this technically would be the entry, but I personally wouldn't have taken that because it's in some choppy markets. Like I was mentioning over here, let me just hide this again. It's choppy, wouldn't take any trades here, would take some buys here, wouldn't take trades here, would possibly take this trade here, but I still wouldn't take it because it is Friday and it's, the market's overall choppy. And then lastly, this one right here, I wouldn't take this because it hasn't established yet that it's, swung out of this point. This can easily just come right back down from here while it's in the choppiness. So just keep that in mind. But this is pretty much my analysis for S&P if you decided to, take that trade. I just wouldn't have taken it because this choppiness right here. Yeah. So Kirsten said, yeah, I did take it. Oh dear, looks like it'll be a loss. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a loss. It's just it's a risky trade because you can reject off any of these points right here. But yeah, just make sure you look at the other videos because every session I've mentioned this where I don't take trades where it's choppy. So obviously right here, we take these long trades. And then for example, over here, we wouldn't take these trades over here because it's too choppy, right? I mean, it's just like, it's common sense of how, like, why you would trade these momentum entries because when it's choppy, there's no momentum there, right? Like for example, over here, it's choppy right here. So there's no momentum. So we wouldn't take trades there, but we would take trades like in other areas over here. Like for example, right here, probably no trades. If I turn this back on, see, we have a lot of buy entries we could take here. It's choppy right here. Probably wouldn't take trades there. Way too choppy right here. Wouldn't take trades there. We take sells here. No trades here. Too choppy. As it swings back up, some buys over here. And then you guys can see that the structure starts to change a lot, when it goes from choppy to actually trending. So that's something to keep in mind, guys, if you guys haven't really looked into that. But if you guys don't understand this completely, just go to the last mentoring session from last night, and I cover this right here. And this will be covered in the actual strategy course. I mean, the strategy video. It's just, it just wouldn't be available on there just yet until, we figure everything out. So yeah, Kirsten, I mean, you could hang on to it. It could still play out. This doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad trade. It's a risky trade. So just keep that in mind, because sometimes here you'll see that there's trades here that are available, but they're and they still hit. Like for example, right here, this is within this choppy area. There's this entry right here for this green one right there. If you were to take that trade, it still would have hit TP, I'm assuming. Yeah, so it would have hit TP right there. Like the trade still works. It's just a risky trade for you to be taking. So I would hold on to it. Because if the other indices like US 30 are pushing upwards, then S&P is likely to push, upwards as well. So you can hang on to it. But if it does hit stop loss, you'll know why. This is probably the reason. It's just too choppy at this point. But anyways, I think that's it for that. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'll just keep analyzing. So hey, Billy, morning. Other than that, yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to really look at here, unless you guys want me to look at other indices. I think that's probably the only thing for us to really look at. I'll go down the Forex watch list right now. And if there's not a lot of questions, guys, we'll probably just get off early today because there's just no reason for me to be online if I'm not going to be trading. Because this is just going to tempt me to want to trade myself. And as we get closer to market close, it's already 7. So as we get closer to like 10 a.m., the market starts to get like way more choppy or slower. It just depends on, how the market decides to move from that. Sorry guys, I'm getting a bunch of messages on Telegram. So if you guys have any questions and if you guys are trying to message me on Telegram, I'm not going to be able to get to you guys just yet because I'm focused on this live stream right now. So let's see if there's anything else here real quick. Here's CHF. There's a lot of trades here that hit full TP that I marked up. Unfortunately, we didn't take them like this. Odd CAD. I don't think I called this trade, but it did hit full TP right there. These are all the trades that I analyzed from the beginning of the week. So like, for example, right here, this break and close past structure, it's still shooting up to where it's supposed to go. Odd USD. And there's actually some pretty good entries last night that I didn't take. Obviously, I wasn't awake, or we could have taken this one if we really wanted to, but it was Thursday night, so we didn't take this trade. But it was available. We had the rejection from here, the buy signal right here, the break and close past structure right here, and that's pretty much it from that point. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. All right, so this would have been, full TP right there as well. Okay, JPY, nothing there. CHF, JPY, nothing there. Euro odd, nothing there. Euro CAD, nothing there. This would hit TP right here. Euro CHF, EG, EJ. So this technically would be an entry right here if you guys wanted to take it, but I wouldn't take it. The market's going to close soon. So by the time this candle closes, there's not really much room for you to take this trade unless you wanted to take a small scalp for like 16 pips right there. But this would have hit TP. This would have hit TP. Euro NZD. This would have been a sell entry right here, but I wouldn't take it. It's a big drop. I'll just mark it up for like next week when we come back on Sunday to see if it's solid. All right, so Euro USD right there. GBP odd. Yeah, nothing there. This didn't break and close past the structure, so nothing there. GCAD, nothing there. So guys, I'm probably gonna have to rework all these all the strategy videos. I know that they still work and they're fine, but I'm probably gonna refresh them at some point within the next couple of weeks. Because I know this isn't really explained in the videos where I identify these rejection points. I just go straight into the strategy. But obviously this is additional. It's not necessary knowledge. Our GA from early hit full TP right there, 50 pips. Let's see, NZD CAD, nothing there. Nothing there. This would be another entry here for NZD JPY. We have the rejection off the structure. We have the buy signal right here. We have the break and close past structure right here. And then obviously, this buy entry right there. Or sorry, that's a sell. It might be a buy entry right over here. So that's pretty much it right there for NZD JPY. If anyone wanted to take that trade, that'd be available. But like I mentioned, today's Friday, so it's probably too risky for you to take this trade. It might shoot up, but who knows? It might shoot down as well. So NZD JPY there, NZD USD. Looks like the NZD is actually pretty strong across the board. Like NZD CAD strong, NZD CHF, NZD JPY, and then so on with NZD USD. Lastly, USD CAD. Good thing I didn't call this one because this one went straight down. And that's why we don't trade on Fridays, right? It's a huge drop from this point. After this right here, yeah, I didn't call this trade either. So good thing I didn't call this trade either because obviously it looks like the USD pairs. If you guys followed my live session yesterday, I mentioned that the USD pairs they were being like heavily manipulated after the move on like Tuesday, Wednesday. And then yesterday, obviously right here, this should have just went up from here, but it came all the way back down for a retest, for a breakthrough retest. And then probably now it's going to shoot up because it was probably like on a stop loss hunt, right? People entered a long position right here. And then they went for a stop loss hunt before shooting back up right here off the structure. So that's it for USD CHF. And then not really much there for UJ. Right? Technically this would have been a sell here because it didn't, it rejected off this point. So other than that, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Morning, Vishnu. Otherwise, I don't really have much to look at today, guys. Aside from these scalps that we were following, there's the US 30 scalp. It's still technically active right now. If you guys decided to take it, let me go back to S&P. Here's S&P, Kirsten. See how it's bouncing back up? It's still a decent trade. So technically, this one right here, I wouldn't have taken this first one. But if the second one confirms that the rejection is legit, then it's probably going to keep pushing up even higher. So, the more confirmations, the better. So if we have the second confirmation here, your trade might be okay. But, just for future reference, I would hold up on specific trades if they're in a choppy area, because you just don't want to get caught in any whipsaw action where price goes back and forth. and then it stops you out. Like for example, here, if you enter like somewhere in the middle, it ranged up like 150 pips and it ranged down like 150 pips. So you can get stopped out in both ways if the market's too choppy. You want to trade when price is moving directional, like right here. And the way we can identify that is if the pivots spread out and they start to angle. Like right here, they're spread out and they're angling. That's going to indicate that the trend is strong or the trend is starting. And then that's where you would take this entry right here, because obviously this would hit full TP with like literally no drawdown, right? Straight TP, no drawdown. And then the same right here, you just want this to spread out. So for example, here they're not spread out yet; they're still crossing over. And one thing that you want to look out for is when, okay, so here's how I identify it. Basically, you want the pivots to be spread out like this, right? Once the pivot starts to cross the orange and the red down here, that's where it starts to become choppy, obviously, right? It's okay if the green and the yellow cross, because that's normal. These are the weakest pivots. But once it starts to cross the stronger pivots, the orange and red, that's where you want to be careful, because right here, you can see as they cross over, it just becomes all this choppiness, and then it smooths out, swings back up over here, goes back into choppiness until it smoothens out and pushes up in that direction. So that's just another reminder for identifying choppy markets when and where not to trade. But yeah, US 30 here is still looking fine. Other than that, guys, I don't know what else to really look at today, this morning, since there's not really much questions. I don't think there's that many people online either. Since it is Friday, most people have taken a break from the trading already for the weekend. And everyone's going to come back on Sunday. So I pretty much looked over all of these Forex pairs here. There was really nothing to really take aside from this NZDJPY right here. That's a pretty smooth entry, but I'm not going to take it myself. Other than that, we can take a look at the other indices to see if there's any other entries here that are available. But other than that, let's just go down the list. So the first one, or one of the main ones that we take a look at, is the DAX. So here's the DAX right here. Let me just draw the zones to see if there's anything here that we could have looked at. So let's see, I'm just going to extend this left to right. So we got that right there. That right there. All right there, and this down here. So just look at the DAX down here. All right, so yeah, just look at the DAX right here. Doesn't look like, let me just check if there's no entries here. The most recent entry was probably nothing there. So there's no entries here. I'm just looking for entries that I can show you guys an example for this here. This touches the body. This rejects off both areas. Wouldn't be an entry. Yeah, so I'm just going to zoom in from here. Obviously, there's no entries here. There's a rejection off a structure here, but no pivot. Down here, this would technically be an entry both directions. So it rejects from the bottom and the top. So we skip that one. Nothing here. This red one gets touched right there. Nothing here. So I think the first entry probably would have been this green one right here. So this would probably be the first entry. We do have the rejection off the pivot and the structure. Let me just see this real quick. Yeah, we have the rejection off the pivot and structure down there. And obviously you take the long position right here. And then pretty much just let this run. And obviously it would hit full TP right there. So that'd be the most recent entry for the DAX. Other than that, there's nothing that's ahead of this area. And just showing you guys what I was mentioning earlier, identifying the structure that is choppy. So let me just take this off here. So obviously you can see right here, it's pretty clear to see, you know, when the market's choppy and where it's moving smoothly. So for example, here, I'm just going to draw some areas here to show you guys what I mean by that. So I'm just take this off. All right. So right here, obviously you can see it's moving down pretty smoothly. As we reach this area right here, it gets a little choppy. Again, right here, it comes down pretty smooth. And then throughout this whole area right here, super choppy for the most part. And then again, right here, super choppy right here. Well, I want to show you guys, you know, what I mean by that. So again, right, well, actually this whole area right here is pretty choppy. Again, right here, choppiness. Again, right here, some choppiness. Again, right here. So this is fine. And then choppiness right here. So obviously if I turn this back on, you can see that the market gets kind of choppy around this area. And, you know, so this is a trade that you could have avoided, right? So like, for example, here, if you saw this choppiness right here, you could avoid this buy and you wouldn't have lost this trade right here, right? Because if you took this buy right here, this would have lost. But if you're able to identify the market's choppy, you would have skipped that trade. And then again over here, same situation. We have you know, a sell right here, which probably would have been a loss as well. Yeah, I would have hit the stop loss right there. But you would have avoided this trade because you would have seen that it was choppy here. So choppy markets around here, pretty much skip all these trades. And then, you know, this would have been a win, obviously, because it's not where it's choppy. We have the rejection off the pivot, rejection off the structure right there, full TP for 250 pips. And then again, same situation over here. You see how choppy it is right here? So if you guys are able to identify that, what I just mentioned, you'll know exactly, you know, where to trade and where not to trade for the most part, to avoid getting caught in any of these choppy markets. But other than that, I mean, that's it for the DAX right there. There's no entries available right now. The only one that was available would have been this one right here. And then now we would just need price to come down and test the structure and pivot down here in order for there to be another entry, right? It comes down, test the pivot and structure, then it shoots off from there. So that's pretty much, you know, what we'd be looking for next. Other than that, that's it for the DAX. So let me see if there's anything else here in the chat real quick before we continue on. Thomas said, thank you for the lesson. I need to pop off. Definitely, Thomas, no problem. Rick's mentioned, where's the best place to start with you? I'm new to trading. So Rick, if you want to sign up for our free intro course, just go on the website, k2trades.com, go to unlock your free access right here, and then you'll have access to all of the, you know, to pretty much all of the intro stuff, like basically all the strategies, all the free public groups and stuff like that. If you want to sign up there, it's completely free. You just sign up and then you get access to everything. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. Hey, morning, Christopher. See, Braden said, what's up, team? Big things coming for K2 this year. March is a big month for the markets. Yeah, definitely, Braden. March is actually, I think it's one of my most profitable months, guys. So like, I'll probably be trading a lot next month. I'll probably be scalping a lot. Probably won't be going on live as often. Well, I'll go live for the premium members, but not for the public group. I'll probably just stream my screen and I'll just be trading live if you guys want to watch what I'm doing. But I'm probably not going to be answering questions very much next month. Well, I'll be answering questions, but I'm not going to be so focused on answering questions. I'm going to be more focused on actual trading because March is it's a very volatile month. Let's see, anything else over here? Saquon said, question, does the same concept of marking up Forex pairs on the 4-hour, the same for indices? Yeah, I mean, you can, but for the thing with indices, Braden, is that, or no, sorry, the difference with indices, Saquon, is that it moves way faster. So, I mean, it would make no sense for you to mark it up on the 4-hour, right? Because you're not going to take like a 3-hour, I mean, a 4-hour range. So let me just show you, for example, here. So like, just go to US 30. Like the same markup works on the 4-hour, but you know how far in data it goes far back? Like you really don't need that much data for an indice because they usually move directional, right? They move in one direction. But if you're going to draw like some zones here on the 4-hour, so you can see right here, let me see where the most recent zone is. So the most recent zone is going to go so far back in data that it's irrelevant, right? So like looking at this right here, if you're going to mark up this zone down here, price isn't going to come down to this area for a long time. So it's kind of, I mean, it's pretty irrelevant because it hasn't been down here since January. So, I mean, if you're waiting for this to come down back to the zone down here, it's probably going to take a couple months, right? Because it's way up here, or it might never come back to this area down here. So that's why I don't really mark it up on the 4-hour, because we don't anticipate price to come down this far unless something crazy happens. You know, something really crazy happens and price starts to drop heavy like this right here. That's when you'll go on the higher time frame, because you know it's going to be relevant. But if you go on the 1-hour, you get zones that are actually relevant because, so like check this out right here. We have the lowest zone right here, which would be right there. This was tested just last week on the 11th. So we can actually see price coming down to this point, you know, within a week or so, where you can take that trade. The only reason I would look on the 4-hour is if you're like, you're just doing long-term investments, right? Because basically the way that I would do it is I would turn on the K2SR, and then I would, so like say for example here, I'll just draw these zones down here. What I would do is I would wait for price to dip. Every time it dipped, I would buy some more US 30, right? If we're doing this long-term wise, if you're doing like long-term investing type, then you could draw zones here on the 4-hour, and then they'll be relevant because, like for example here, let me just turn this stuff off. For example here, whenever price comes down, you can just buy more US 30, right? Price comes down, you buy some more US 30. Price goes up, you wait. Price comes back down, you buy some more US 30. Price comes up, you wait. And then every time it drops down, you just buy some more US 30. It drops down here, that's fine. Let's wait for it to come back up. As it comes up to this point and drops again to the zone, buy some more US 30. You know, that's the buy and hold strategy. So it just depends on how you plan on using it. I mean, if you wanted to buy and hold, like this is what I do for Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, I just buy and hold every time it dips, and then it averages out because it's a directional asset. It just keeps going up and up, right? So like, for example, here, price is above here. If price was to swing back down here, I would buy some more US 30. If it swung down here, buy some more US 30, because obviously it's going to keep pushing up at some point, right? And that's why that's how I would analyze it on the 4-hour. But if you're trading it normally, like if you're intraday trading it, it just doesn't make any sense for you to draw on the 4-hour. The 1-hour would be far enough. And then if you're scalping, obviously on the 30-minute, and then again, if you want to scalp even lower on the 10-minute, like how we normally do. So yes, Quan, that's pretty much, that's pretty much how we would, how I would personally do it. But yeah, the same concept, marking up the charts on the 4-hour works the same on US 30 and other indices, but I just do it on the 10-minute. I mean, not the 10-minute, on the 1-hour, because it just makes more sense for you to do it on the 1-hour versus the 4-hour, because it's just too far out. All right, so we have, let's see, Solange said hit that like. Yeah, definitely. If you guys haven't already, if you guys can hit the like button, that'll definitely help us continue to grow this channel. And it'll give me more incentive to come on these live sessions to teach you guys every morning. Because, obviously this doesn't really benefit me that much. I'm kind of just here hanging out with you guys, answering questions, especially if I'm not trading, right? Generally, if I'm not trading, I don't go live. But, I wanted to hang out with you guys one last time before the weekend, so I can answer any questions, because I do get a lot of questions over the weekend. So I wanted to knock everything out now, so that you guys can have your questions answered before we call it a week. Anyways, let me go back to the chat real quick. Varun said gold is on the loose right now. Just made 100 pips. Stop loss was 5 pips, 1 to 20 RR. So let's see, Varun said that yeah, so I'm assuming you took that buy down there, right, Varun? Or I don't know how you're trading it. I think we're looking at it on the 10-minute. Let me go back to the 10-minute over here. Actually, let's look at S&P. Look at Kirsten's trade, because you had S&P, Kirsten. Let's see. Yeah, Kirsten. So your S&P is actually bouncing back. So it's, I mean, like I mentioned, it's not a horrible trade, but it's just a risky trade, because it's like during a choppy market. So you should be fine. I would hold on to it, because everything looks pretty bullish. I mean, even going back to the US 30 scalp that we were looking at earlier, it's currently in profit right now. It looks fine. So it looks good for the most part right here on US 30. Let's see if there's, yeah, everyone mentioned gold. So let me go to gold on the 10-minute. Yeah, this is pretty solid right here, Bruin. I'm not sure if you caught this one right here off this this big green candle, Bruin, but yeah, if you caught this was an easy full TP right there. Other than that, let me see if there's no other zones yet. So there's really necessarily anything for us to follow at this point. But I mean, yeah, if you guys find some scalps here, you guys can catch them. But I'm probably not going to take any myself. I'm just, if I get too tempted, it's just not. It's going to end bad. It's going to end horribly if I get too tempted to take these trades, because that's what happened last Friday. Last Friday, I told you guys the same thing. Said I wasn't going to trade. I took a trade. I lost. But then thankfully, the 2 trades after that were wins. So I ended the week in profit. So yeah, I'm gonna have some self-control and actually follow my own advice and not trade. But if you guys are taking these trades, there's some pretty nice trades right here. We had one full TP over here off this one, and then there's another one right here as well that we marked up a few minutes ago to basically hit this on that point. But yeah, so other than that, guys, if you guys have any other questions, put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'll probably be calling this session off a little earlier today, probably around 8. I've been on the session for a little over an hour already, 65 minutes. And I just don't want to get tempted. The main thing here is just like, I don't mind hanging out with you guys and answering questions. It's just, I don't want to be tempted to enter these trades, because obviously, check this out. If this hits TP right here, I'm going to want to take trades, right? Because I already missed out on 2 TPs right here. And then I already know the third trade that shows up, it's going to be a loss, right? So I'm not trying to fall into that trap, because I already know how my personality is with trading. If I see all these wins play out here, it's going to make me want to trade. Dang, do you see that right there? That US 30 spike, like, let's see how many pips. This thing spiked like 300 pips in like 1 second. It's just, this is why I wouldn't want to trade it, because it's just risky. Saquon said, if you get that itch to trade, go in your demo and just let loose. Yeah, no, for sure, Saquon. No, that's a horrible idea, bro. Because the problem with that, I like, some people have done that before. And the main problem with going to demo is that you go to demo and you start trading stupid, right? You just trade, like, you take random trades. And then when you go to your real account, you still trade it like it's your demo. And then you end up blowing your real account. Because I've seen people like that in the group that it's happened, where they're like, oh, I'll just trade demo. They trade demo and they have like a few wins, and they go straight to their live, and then they blow their account because they're trading the same way that they were trading on their demo. They get too overly confident. So that's I mean, if you can control yourself, that's a good idea, Saquon. But I already know for myself and for other people, it never plays out that way. It sounds like a good idea until you actually do it, and then you end up blowing your account. And you're like, damn, I should have just chilled today. All right, so let me see if there's anything else here real quick before we continue on. All right, cool. So it looks like you guys are talking about that gold trade that Varun took. Yeah, other than that, so like, yeah, looking at gold here, I mean, you could have like, whenever a pair is just moving very smoothly, you don't even have to. I mean, technically you do if you want to follow the proper requirements. But you can see here that you can literally catch like all the rejections off the pivots, because this is the way that I used to apply the strategy. I would just take it off the pivots, but then I would try to figure out, like, how do I prevent myself from suffering any losses? And I figured that out by drawing the zones, because the zones give that fuller confirmation. But like, literally, you can just trade price action every rejection off the pivot, and then take a sell if you really wanted to. But yeah, I mean, we'll wait and see how this ends up playing out. I mean, usually they usually line up together, but gold right here is like, it's in such a strong uptrend right now. So check this out. See the pivots, how they're pretty much spread out and they're just angling. They're in such a strong uptrend right now that this is probably going to keep pushing up. Like, for example, right here, this would probably be an entry off this. This is probably an entry for gold right here, as it rejects off that yellow pivot. And it's pretty easy to see. Like, for example, when you see stuff like just pushing up pretty heavy, it's easy for you to just see that they're like strong uptrends. Like right here, this would be a strong uptrend. Right here, it'd be kind of choppy. So this is riskier on this area. And then same with this downtrend right here. Like, they don't fit the requirements, but if you were to just take, it's such a strong downtrend right here that if you, took the rejections off the pivots, you could possibly do pretty fine off that as well, even though there's no structure, above it at that time. But other than that, I think that's about it, guys. So I don't really see much to really look at right now. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll hang out for another like 10, 15 minutes, and then I'll probably call it a day. I do have a lot of questions to answer. I have about like And I don't even want to look at my email. Jeez, I got like, I have like 100 emails here, like over 100 emails that I have to get to. And then I have a bunch of Telegram messages down here as well that I need to, get through. Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, I do have like a bunch of messages here to get through on the Telegram, and also have a bunch of emails to get to you guys. So if you guys have questions, put them in the chat right now. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna get off soon. I've been on this chat for over an hour already, so it might be time for a break for me to go answer these questions. So we will, yeah, because it says he sounds like you need to hire an assistant. Yeah, I know, definitely. I have one in the works right now, but a lot of these questions they're they're like directly for me, because they're like trading questions, and obviously I'm the only one that can really answer these specific trading questions here. But yeah, no, definitely a good idea, Biko. So I can just focus on this trading. But today's Friday, so it's just, it's a chill day today. It's not really much to do overall, since I'm not taking these trades. Yeah, definitely. Probably soon enough, guys. So yeah, guys, if you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise I'll hang around for a few more minutes to see if there's anything else you guys need. Otherwise I will be logging off for the day. I'll still be on the Telegram though. So if you guys have questions, I'll still be able to answer them. It's just, I won't be trading live, since I'm not even gonna be trading myself. So it just wouldn't make sense for me to just hang around and not be doing anything on here. All right, that's cool. All right, guys. So I think that's it for the questions. Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. We had a pretty good. So let's go over the profits for this week. So like we had a pretty good breakdown of profits this week. So if you guys have been following K2 this whole, obviously this whole week, these are the profits from this week so far. So let me just go back. So when did this week start? This week started on the 14th. So if you go back to the 14th right here, you guys can see the date up here. What I do is I pretty much save everyone's profits in K2. So for example, right here, it started on the 15th. That was my profit there off US 30, that sell. Jet over here locked in a couple $100 off that. Owen as well, he locked in about $1,000 off that. Rami over here locked in 134. And if you guys want me to save your profits and post them to the public groups, just send them over to me or send them in any of the groups, and then I'll save them for you. So Flynn over here locked in about 729 off that day on the 15th. This is Mark right here locked in about 962. Shonda locked in about $100 off that, trading my US 30 trades. Quinn over here locked in about $200. Cheryl over here locked in about 734. Another 420 off this. Billy locked in about a couple $100 off this account. NTO locked in about a couple $100 off that NAS that I called on Monday, I believe, or Tuesday. Lisa locked in about a couple $100 off this, trading gold, UK 100, US 30, or actually a couple $1,000 actually, because I didn't realize there was 200 down here. So like 200, 400, 600, including that, 800, and then all these little ones. So that would add up to like about 1,000. Sisuk over here, $900. Billy over here again. Mark over here again. So you guys can see here, Braden over here locked in 2,000 for the day, trading GJ, AU, EJ, and this is all using the same strategies that we're covering here. Braden over here again, some nice profits off that, some more off Owen. And there's just, we have days and days of profits here. Like literally every day, people have been killing it right here. Like even Cameron over here, he was like my first day, K2, no joke. He locked in 1,000 off this account, off his first day. I mean, his first 1,000 day trading with us here at K2. Eric over here with about 1,000. And you guys can see here, obviously, I record everyone's profits. So if anyone wants to share the profits or they want me to post them in the public group, I can share them for you. Nice. Braden over here last night. So these are trades from last night. If you guys saw that GU trade that I called, so I called this GU trade over here, which hit full TP, right? So here's the profits right here. GU right here for a buy, another GU for a buy, 692, 667, $1,000 for the day. If you took that trade that I called right there. Same right here with Ivan. He had a couple like back and forth trades, but he ended up in profit at the end. And he's been trading on his own as well. Same with Jazz over here. He took the GU trade, made about 120 off that one, and then another 92 off this one as well. So, congrats to everyone who took my trades this week. Everyone pretty much made a pretty, good amount of profit. We do this every day, guys. It's nothing new here. It's consistent. It's consistent profits all day, every day. But yeah, so I think that's about it, guys. I don't have any questions, so I didn't skip over anything. Let me check the Zoom real quick to see if I missed anything here. See the chat. Nice. Yeah, Cam said I'm already on. Jazz said he's still in GU. Nice, congrats, Jazz. So you're still in GU right now. I would just close it out, Jazz, because it's already hit full TP, and the weekend's going to come soon. The market's closing in about 4 hours, so I wouldn't bother holding. I mean, if you want to hold it, feel free, but I would just exit and then just re-enter once there's another entry available. But yeah, guys. So other than that, I think that's about it. So guys, have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. I'll be back here on Sunday. And then I think other than that, I think we're pretty much good for the day, right? That's pretty much it. There's nothing else for us to really look at. But yeah, I'll be back here on Sunday, but I'll be in the chat. If you guys have any other questions, just send me any charts. If you guys want me to analyze anything, just send it over here in the premium, and I can answer your questions for you. But other than that, I'm going to go do some back office work. I have a lot of emails to respond to, a lot of messages to respond to here on the Telegram. So yeah, guys, that's about it. Thanks for showing up, and I'll catch you guys back here on Sunday. So see you guys later, and I'll be in the